Hey, you guys, welcome to Club Rich. I'm your host, Ashley Janae, and I got my special guest with me, Kasey Calvert. How you doing, man?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am great. So, of course, we cool. So I know a lot about you. But for the people that don't know, actually, Kasey just ran for school board in our last election, November 8th. And unfortunately, we didn't take the win, but you did a great job. You did get a lot of votes. So, anyways, other than that, tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I did run in this previous election. Um, that was an exciting, eye-opening adventure. But I'm Kasey Calvert. I'm a philanthropist, entrepreneur, lifelong resident of the city of Flint, and man, just an all-around city guy. I love my city, and thank you for having me on today.
Most definitely. Thank you for coming in. And just to let you guys know, this is episode number one, so I'm so excited. Yet I'm
What?
nervous
Episode
too.
number one?
Yes.
Man,
So, well, Kasey, if you don't mind me putting that out there, you are 33.
34.
34?
34.
34. Ooh, Lord, didn't do my research. She's 34, y'all.
34.
So, for you to be 34 and to invest your time in the political world, what made you want to get into politics? Because that, when you think about a politician or somebody of the sort, think about somebody that's old, that, well, not old, but older. So, what
You
made you want to
said
get
it
into
right
all
the
that?
first time. If there aren't enough people my age in the arena, there aren't enough people my age setting themselves up to be at tables that can benefit the community, benefit our age group of people, and benefit the black community as a whole. So it was my idea that if my 34-year-old self can get out here and attempt to do something that's pretty much regulated to the older age group, then maybe people my age would participate in elections, participate actually getting out, voting, or maybe be interested in becoming politicians of, in their own right. And it pleases me to say that we had a number of people our age turn out much higher than what it was. I can't attribute that completely to my campaign, but I want to say that I did make, a big leap in trying to get people out my age and younger to vote. So that's exciting.
So, what hurdles did you cross in getting it? I would figure for this to be your first time running, for you to be younger, because a lot of candidates that were on the ballot were not as young as you. So I know you were getting a lot of side eyes for that. So what hurdles did you have?
Um, I would say on that end, as far as the school board is concerned, people want to see people on the school board who have children in the school district already, and that they support their school district. Well, my answer to that was I may not have children, and I don't have any kids, so I can't send a kid to school that I don't have. But I do have experience with a lot of our children. My previous employment I was an attendance agent for the Flint Community Schools. I'm a former school bus driver. So I've built relationship with kids in this district from 2012 up until now. And I'm willing to continue to fight, be a voice for those kids. My end, as far as a hurdle, probably time. It's
Time.
probably time. I put my application in to run the very last day, the very at the deadline, because I was just really truly hesitant about the decision. It wasn't the fact that I didn't think I would do well. It's just the fact that that is a big life step, and it took a large chunk of my life to dedicate it to that campaign, which I'm extremely proud of. But if I could do it all over again, which we're going to do it again, I'm going to continue to put my name out there, put my face out there. I'm going to continue politicking because if you realize, if you notice, politicians don't take time off. The election time, that's go time. But politicians are always politicking. They don't stop.
They don't turn it
They
off.
don't stop. So that's where I'm at with it. So continue to look out for my name, my face, because we out here.
So now that the election is over, you had time to kind of chill for a little bit. What's next? What's next for you?
Like I said, I am a philanthropist. I do have my own uh, nonprofit organization. It is 501c3 by the name of Hidden Gems Institute of Instrumental Music and Fine Arts. It's a mouthful. It is there are quite a few words, but it's all inclusive arts um, for those kids and adults who may not have an outlet to be able to show their artistic side, whether it's drawing, whether it's dance, whether it's instrumental music, whether a kid who sings really well in the shower and realize they have a voice but nowhere to sing, or that kid that sing on Sunday morning and smash, but they're only regulated to church on Sunday morning, or that kid in the studio trying to get their bars right. So I want to make sure we have an outlet for everybody, young and old, to be able to come and share their artistic vision.
Okay. So we're gonna shift it over a little bit. So
Oh
here
God.
here on Club Rich, of course, Club Rich, we love music.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what's on Casey's playlist?
So right now, my favorite song out right now is that new one by Jasmine Sullivan. It comes on the radio all the time. It is a certified banger. Anything Jasmine has dropped lately has been a banger. Um, I'm a radio head. I listen to the radio just about all day, every day. I believe radio is probably one of the best forms of media. It's so versatile. Whereas, so um, 92.7, I love it when that Jasmine Sullivan come on. I might get a lot of this might be an unpopular opinion, but I enjoy that new Rihanna song that came out with the Wakanda movie. A lot of people been saying I don't like it. I don't like it. Rihanna is singing her behind off in that song, and I'm here to say it today. It's a certified banger.
You know what it is with me?
What is it?
It's because Rihanna is not known for being a good singer. So with that being said, the song
So,
is okay.
so she just good looks and
Mhm. Mhm.
and
Pretty face, nice body, all that stuff.
and a Jamaican beat.
Yes. Some groovy, and that's
Yeah,
where it goes. That's as
so
far as
y'all
it
want her
goes
to
with
stay
it.
in her lane, just beat a pretty face with it.
I think she's trying to grow up though.
Absolutely.
So she
If
got a kid and stuff now. So I think she's trying to expand and be known for a little bit more than just being
just
cute.
as a vocalist, I appreciated the attempt. I do. It was like that's Rihanna because
Yeah.
we used to the music being more overpowering than the vocals, but this song actually has a message behind it, and the music is actually pretty cool too. But it's her vocals that stands out the most on this one. So I'm excited to see what Rihanna does next.
All right, y'all. So every week I do have a mental health statistic that I like to share, and so I got a pop quiz for you.
Pop quiz.
Okay. So, what percentage of African Americans invest in their mental health and actually seek professional help? So, we got A, 8%, we got B, 90%, and we got C, 25.
So wait, you put African Americans and mental health in the same pop quiz question? I'm going with eight.
25. So,
25?
25%.
It was more than I thought.
Yep. So, 25% of African Americans actually seek help and invest in their mental health.
That's
So,
that's better than I thought.
that's a dope little tip we want to put out there for the week.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's get ratchet a little bit. I got some hot topics on the
Hot
board, and I need
topics.
you to get into them with me.
Okay,
Get into them.
fire away. Let's see what we can, who feathers we can ruffle today.
So my first topic is B Simone.
B Simone, what? It's been a little noise. I don't know what's happening. Tell me more.
She only takes baths every 3 days.
Every three
That's what I got
days.
out of the whole thing. She was on some podcast and she expressed that she did not feel the need to bathe,
That's,
but every 3 days. So she quote unquote said if she bathes on a Monday, the next time that she picks up a bar of soap is that Wednesday. So, what are your thoughts on the lack of hygiene?
I took a shower today. Did you take a shower today?
Definitely.
So she might not have. know, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate, which black people love to do it. I'm gonna go with the to each its own answer. It's not my personal answer for nothing, but to each his own. If she chooses that, if she think that the soap in the water is an every 3 day type of situation, then hey, go for it. B Simone is opinionated, and ain't too many people really looking
That
for her
is a
no more
woman.
anyway.
Women need to put soap and water on it every day. Every day. I ain't skipping. I'm not doing no shortcuts. Women need to put soap and water on it daily.
Daily,
Daily.
daily.
And sometimes more than once a day. It just depends on what
And,
activities is going
you
on.
know,
Sweat and just wear
I,
and tear of the body requires
I don't
soap and
disagree.
water.
I don't disagree. We know B Simone is an attention freak. Could this be an attempt to gain
I
attention
think
where people may have forgotten about her? She's not in the. Because the last time she was in the news, she was in the news for copyright infringement or
oh,
stealing
that
other
book.
people's ideas and stuff. So she's usually very
Yeah.
controversial. A lot of her fame and notoriety comes from controversy. Once you get to that level in life, nobody really takes you seriously anyway. So she can never take another shower again. It ain't gonna hurt me at all.
Look, I ain't gotta smell it.
Stay up funky behind over there. But you know what? We thought we was gonna keep it okay.
Keep it
Yeah, we gonna
PG.
keep
Like
it
Mickey said, this is a
This is a
family
family show.
show.
You know, it's Sunday too, so we gonna
Yep.
try.
Keep the Lord in mind
Oh
at all
God, nasty funk factory.
So next question. We gonna tone it down just a little
Okay.
bit for this question only.
Okay.
So your favorite president,
Uh-huh.
Donald Trump,
Okay.
made an announcement this week that Mr. Orange wants to
He
run
is
for
back.
2024. Mr. Orange is back. He's ready to peel for 2024.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? Because
My thoughts is he can go for it. Politically, the country is torn in half. We saw it with this last election. There's just as much blue as there is red, and it'll be interesting to see how the Red Party handles this because they sick of his stuff, man. They sick of his stuff. I was reading comments the other day where some diehard Red Party members were just really irritated at the fact that he doesn't have any couth. He doesn't care about what he says. But then on the other side of the coin, you have those people who love the fact that he says whatever he wants to on. Can we say the T word? The T app? Twitter? Can we say it? Because
we say Twitter on here without getting shut down.
Not the powers that be listening, but they love the fact that his Twitter was off the chain and he said some things, although he may or may not have meant it. They just love the fact that he has a potty mouth. But it'll be interesting to see. I'm diehard blue all day. But what are your thoughts? Who are you voting for?
I'm writing in Barack. I'm writing him on the ballot.
When you write his name on your ballot, take that ballot, fold it up, put it in the envelope, put a stamp on it, and send it to him because that's about all your ballot is good for.
I'm writing him back on there. I'm for. Matter of fact, let's start a GoFundMe to get him back on the ballot.
It's not enough money on the face of God's green earth to get Barack Obama to put his neck back out there. Because the way we treated Barack both terms, let him know to not ever deal with us ever again. And I don't blame him.
You know what? The expectations that people put on him, especially the second term, it was like
it's unrealistic.
Yeah, it was too much. And it was mostly us that was like, all right, what you gonna do next? And it's like, what all can he do? And then people don't know anything about politics. They don't know that presidents do not, I repeat, they do not have the final stamp or say on too much of anything.
Absolutely.
Everything goes through a chain of commands before the president even gets to write his name on anything. That's why it's so important to invest in your local elections.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's very important. People think that if it's not, the national election, that it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. while I was on the campaign trail, I encountered that a lot. Oh, I only last election I voted in was Barack Obama, and there's been several elections after that. There was quite a few large turnout for the marijuana election to legalize it and to make recreational marijuana legal around here. And as you can see, it passed. We don't really focus on the topics and the situations that affect us directly. Your mayor is important. Your governor is important. The relationship that the two hold together is important. The state representatives that make up the in between the mayor and the governor is important. I can't stress enough, but if it ain't black or dealing with weed, then we don't vote for it. That was that was tough, wasn't it? But it's the truth. It's the
The
truth.
God honest truth, right?
It's the truth. So that's why it's important. Like I said in my answer earlier, that our age, people our age and our in the 30s and under, get out and vote. Know what they're voting for. Know what some of these terms and what some of these things mean. Because if you don't have any idea, these policies and things are going to negatively affect you. The red party does not care about how you feel.
You know, when I realized that people were ignorant, that's our age.
Uh huh.
When this current election that just passed, when people were going out of their way to explain Proposition 3,
Absolutely.
and even with the explanation, people still were like, I still don't understand what you're
Absolutely.
saying. It's like,
Absolutely.
it's plain and simple, very plain and simple.
Yeah.
But a lot of people our age don't take the time to find that type of information out. And then a lot of us are so ignorant, they just feel like, well, if my mom, if my grandmother, if my pops go vote, then that's good enough for me. And they don't realize that, okay, if you're saying that, and your friends are saying that, and your cousins are saying that, and your nieces are saying that, that means we're missing out on so many votes
Absolutely.
because everybody has the same ignorant mindset.
Absolutely. Your vote is your voice.
Definitely.
If you don't get a chance, if you don't exercise your right to vote, then you've done not only yourself a disservice, but the ones before us, you've done them a disservice. And the reason why it's so important is because of the fact that they make it, the powers that be make it so difficult these days to understand this language. They write it in a way that we can't understand. They write it. That's just the way it
That's kind
is.
of the whole purpose of it. So it's up to you to get that knowledge, really,
Absolutely.
because they're not offering anything other than either vote for it or don't vote
It's
for it.
out there. The information is out there. We live in an information driven society. And you can pick up a cell phone, a tablet, anything you can to to research what you need to know, um, and to making an educated vote. That's important. What else you got? I'm scared.
No, we're gonna kind of tone it down just
Jesus
a little bit
Christ.
again.
Okay, we toned it down the last time, and you got me
You got two more questions, just two more,
two
two
more. Oh, we got
more.
to stretch these.
All right, so anybody that's heard the name Shanquilla Robinson within the last week, um, it's been a very, very, very tragic week for her and her family. She
Absolutely.
passed away very suddenly when she took a trip with five of her friends. They returned back to the States. I guess they went to like Mexico or something like
Mexico.
that.
Yeah.
She didn't return safe. She actually suffered some fractures that were life threatening, and she ended up passing away there. And her family is still looking for answers. She was actually laid to rest yesterday, so prayers to her family.
Absolutely.
According to the YouTube show TGIF with Claudia Jordan, Al Reynolds, and Quentin, um, Claudia stated that she had received some information that was alleged, but the young lady allegedly, gonna say
Allegedly.
had some information regarding a killing. Well, I don't know if the person actually passed away, but she set up one of the people that was on the trip, set up their cousin to be killed.
Mm.
So the video that's been circulating of her being dragged naked, basically not fighting back and being beaten to death was quote unquote justified. So that's
Okay.
the story that the
Okay.
victims, the quote unquote victims, are sticking with.
That's their story, and they sticking with it, huh?
Yeah, that's what they sticking to. So how
Okay.
do you feel about vacationing with friends? Because my thing of it is I like to kind of vacation with my significant other. I'm not into vacationing with a lot of females because it's a thing where females will actually hang around somebody that they don't care too much for,
We know.
just for the sake of saying, "Oh, I went somewhere." And
Yeah,
I've seen it on so many occasions where
absolutely.
they're like this, and then they'll go to Miami, and they come back and they hate each other.
They
Like I've
hate
seen
each
it
other.
happen so many times. So how do you feel about vacationing with your friends? Because I'm not with it.
I'm not going nowhere with nobody that I don't like, that I can't deal with around town. But I look like punching my passport, putting a notch on my passport, and going somewhere outside of the states with somebody that I don't hang around with in the city. But like you said, there's a lot of women out there that can kick it with people that they don't deal with every day, people that they don't like, they hate the guts, and they can they for the sake of the adventure, for the sake of the trip, and just the sake of to have something to talk about when they come back. I mean, but we see it every day. We see it every day. People go hang out. You talk trash with the next person, and then go out with the same person. Can't stand them type of folks. Why you talking to me about them, and then you gonna be on social media at the club hanging out with the same people you were just telling me about?
I
Now
saw
I
that too
can't
many
trust
times
you
too.
and them. Well, you know what? I can't trust you more than I trust them because I don't know them. I need to get to know them for myself, not what you told me. But, you know, I feel sorry for her. I hate that happen. No matter what, whether the allegation is true or false, nobody has the right to play judge or jury in a person's life, or executioner in this case, because they straight up executed that girl. Did you watch the video? I didn't watch it.
I when I clicked on it, I seen like just a little clip of it. I was just like, yeah, let me go ahead
I
and
couldn't
click
watch
out
it.
of it. I guess in news also, Kyrie Irving, a basketball player, donated sixty
I
five
saw
thousand
that.
dollars
I saw
to,
that.
and it's crazy because he didn't announce it. It was just
Right.
like, you know how
Right.
GoFundMe shows everybody that
Absolutely.
donates, and he does stuff like that all the time.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. You know what?
Oh, we
Pin
going.
that.
You finna
Pin that.
segue right into Kyrie.
No,
Oh.
no, but we're gonna go into another person that
Oh
everybody hates for
no.
no odd reason. Uh, so in other news, Chris Brown was actually scheduled.
Yeah, people can't stand Chris Brown.
He was scheduled to perform at the AMAs. I think it's actually today. It's the 40th anniversary of the Thriller album.
Thriller. 40 years.
40 years.
That's
So
big.
that was who they had scheduled to do the tribute. And for unknown reasons, the performance was randomly canceled.
Okay.
How long should somebody criminal history follow them? That's my question because we know what the unknown reason is.
There are quite a few unknown reasons. And skin play a big factor into it. And once you ruffle the wrong people's feathers, they're always gonna hate you. They're always gonna hate you. Them same people hate Michael Vick to this day, and he served his years in jail and has given away quite a bit of money to the advancement to animal rights and all this other stuff. And Chris Brown is the same way. Chris is an amazing talent. He deserves that. Nobody, if I was the promoter or the booking agent, I can't call nobody other than Chris Brown to celebrate 40 years of the Thriller album.
Maybe
Because
Usher.
maybe
We might
Usher,
slide
but
Usher in for
Usher
the
definitely can
replacement.
be on it. But
I don't
Usher
think.
can't headline it.
I was about to say. I think.
This ain't for you, Ush. We got something else for
Yeah,
you, Usher. But this
we
40
can
years
include them.
is for the Prince of pop, the Prince. Chris Brown is the Prince, and I think there's nobody else that can do it. But like you said, man, just some things follow you the rest of your life,
Even when you
and
express remorse for it, though,
even when you absolutely
change behavior too.
change behavior too.
So attached to that, last night, Jermaine Dupri, the producer,
Uh huh.
he posted an Instagram post and stated that it was a suggestion, but they ain't gonna do it. he's stating that it's time for us as blacks to come together and create our own platform,
Hmm.
award show platform.
Absolutely.
And I mean, there's so many black people that's in
Yeah.
entertainment that got boatloads of money that can really donate $1 million each, and we can come up with something.
Absolutely.
But
I agree.
nah, that ain't.
I agree.
We too greedy.
I agree.
We too
But
greedy.
this is the American Music Awards. This show is sponsored or meant specifically for American soil. Black, white, green, purple, whatever color. It's supposed to be even playing field, supposedly.
This is the
But
same award show that for a long time did not broadcast nominations or wins that pertain to black people,
absolutely.
and including the Grammys. They
And what?
the first black Grammy that was won was Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff, I believe, and they did not broadcast that win. You actually had to do your research to find out that they won,
Right.
and that was about 30 plus years ago.
Hollywood loves our talent. Hollywood love our actors, our culture. Hollywood love everything about the black experience, except for showing it to the world.
You know what? The first thing that came to my mind was like the BET Awards, but I had to think about who has a handle with BET. When you see the BET Awards in like the last 5 6 years,
Black exploitation television. Sorry, go ahead.
it's broadcast on BET, VH1, MTV. You might hit up MTV2 or the higher up, MTVs. You might get VH1 Soul. You might get a couple other little variations of those channels.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
those channels are tied in to white people.
absolutely,
I love my white people, so don't take
absolutely,
offense. But all of them are owned by white people. So
absolutely.
I can't even really say that we have it when it comes to the BET Awards because that plug can be pulled any day.
I mean, just think of the people that have tried to. Bill Cosby, for one. Bill Cosby was ready to take over a large chunk of the media industry, and they found the first accusation to make it headline, and they sent him right
Kicked them
up the
out.
river. Sent him right up the
Kicked
river.
them out.
All this dirt and everything under the jail. Under the jail. Blind, can't see, it didn't matter. Accusation was 60 years old and they still sent him up. So they that's why I don't consume much media because it's all smoke and mirrors. They show you what they want you to see. They paint the picture that they want to paint, and a lot of time it can be brainwashing in a sense too if you aren't careful.
Most definitely. Well, Casey, I would like to thank you for popping in for my first episode.
Episode number one,
Episode number one.
numero uno.
So when we go ahead and get syndicated and get put on TV, just know you started the show.
Numero uno. I thank
I
you
had a
for having
question
me.
in here though. They said
You
they
got a
gave
question?
blacks the source
The Source Awards.
The Source Awards, that was with Benzino.
and Dave Mays.
Uh huh.
And
Do they
I'm
even
trying to
still
remember
do the Source
exactly.
Awards?
The whole source ended up shutting down. I don't remember exactly
Did
why.
they have a big
But
brawl on there or something?
Heck yeah, that was Bad Boy and what you call it.
What?
And then later on down the road when 50 Cent and them got popping, it was G Unit and some other people. Like throughout the years, it was
So
always
it's still a
some
whole
kind
lot
of
of
brawl,
black drama.
black drama to the T. And I don't know what documentary I was watching. They would actually let them in, knowing that they had guns. All
Just think about it. On one of the largest platforms for recognition in the art or the entertainment industry, you got Will Smith being recognized, and then you got the Will Smith as the protagonist, and you got Chris Rock as the antagonist, and
Yeah.
and I feel like Chris did that on purpose. I feel like he said those jokes on purpose to get a ruffle out of Will and to ruin his major moment. I
He
said it
didn't
right
think that he
here.
was about to get on stage and do that.
Well, if I said something about your husband live on national TV, could I expect you to take it out on me right then, or wait until after the show?
It's
And
some
then
people
act
that
the
might
fool.
wait until after the show because they know they can do what they want to do to you behind the scenes.
Right. They knew Will. He knew Will was going through a rough period. All this red table talk, all this
The
August Alsina and the entanglement stuff. He knew he was under pressure. It's his big moment. I ain't never gonna be as big as Will, so I'm finna tell this joke and see how it go.
Yeah. We got any questions, Mickey? Any other questions on the board?
Any other? I'm open to questions.
He's looking.
Hey, Winter said it was a great show too.
Thank you, Winters. I'm gonna pop in on your show and talk trash too.
Yeah, and Mama Quill, this Shatara mama that's in here. She
Alright.
was I guess she was responding to Chris Calvert when they said they gave the blacks the source word, and she was asking who was that.
The powers that be.
Yeah, but they don't own
But
it
you
no
know
more.
what though?
They didn't take it back.
I'm
from
trying
them.
to
They
think.
took it back.
Yeah, they took it
They
back.
give it to you, then they take it
But
right back.
a good source of the source was funded through Benzino, and there's some other people that was in some activities they ain't had no business.
Activities.
See, they tried to go corporate.
Yeah,
That's
they
how
tried
they got
to.
played. They tried to do .com
Yeah.
before it was
Popping.
popping.
Yeah.
So they got late, like doing podcasts when they was like how 50
Yeah.
did this is 50.com.
Mhm.
He was trying to do it before, and that's how they went bankrupt. But look at it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing.
Got some more questions? Any
Nothing.
questions on the board?
Well, yeah, it was what he said. The beef with Tupac and Biggie caused one of the reasons to shut down the source awards.
I just said that, didn't I?
That,
I said that
Well,
that
that East
moment when
Coast-
Suge Knight got up there talking crazy.
that
That
East
was
Coast,
the
West
beginning
Coast.
of the.
Well, I
Yeah.
got a question for y'all because y'all are in your 30s.
Mhm.
Why is it we still having these problems now? Like, we can't, for blacks, we can't. Because they done seen it, y'all generation got to see. I ain't gonna say seen it, but you can go on YouTube and see
We was
the
young.
Tupac and Biggie
Absolutely.
stuff like that's going on.
Absolutely.
But like how we got, it's still like you got Nipsey Hussle get killed, you got Young Dog
Yeah.
getting killed, you got
Yeah.
Takeoff getting killed.
Yeah.
Like, what is up? Like,
Jealousy.
Jealousy.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's it. You gotta think about it. If you name a majority of that stuff, jealousy. You had Nipsey Hussle. That was a act of jealousy. I don't know anything too much about the Offset situation because they really don't have it ironed out yet. You got Young Dolph.
Jealousy.
Some boys coming trying to rob
Mhm.
him out of nowhere. You getting some
Mhm.
cookies to go to your grandmama's house. So it ain't like we actively arguing about something. They done found him and just did what they did.
Golly, at the-
Mockery.
Yeah.
Jealousy
Yeah.
found him on the highway. Followed him on the
Golly.
highway. And did all that stuff in the middle of traffic.
At the cookie, at the bakery, go pick up.
Because the reason I say that, because I've been watching the Animal Kingdom and stuff. And I feel like the young people, we are preying like on our own people, like how you see the lions and the tigers and alligators when they see the wildebeest coming, or
Yeah.
how they praying for their meals. It's like that's how you understand. Like when you got to have the patience when you wait till somebody come home
Yeah.
to get them,
Right.
or you riding down the street like.
And there you go, right there.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, we go shoot the house so there's kids in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very cowardice. But
It's
I
always
attribute
jealousy.
that to also, unfortunately, black culture can be a dangerous culture. We a lot of times we all know it's all systemic in the way that we think and the way we operate way back in Jim Crow time. But the black culture that you have today is based off of survival of the fittest. You know?
I watch a lot of Vlad TV interviews, and Tony Yayo from G Unit was doing the interview, and he was stating back in the early 2000s, late 90s, it was becoming a thing to wear your bulletproof vest all the time.
Absolutely.
They popularized riding around in the Hummers that was bulletproof.
That was
they
bulletproof.
thing.
Yes.
And so he was just saying it's kind of getting back to that point. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, Young Dolph had a vehicle that was bulletproof that he had just purchased prior to him being shot. So it's getting to the point now you have to take extra precaution
You have
yourself
to.
because everybody's just looking at you for a money grab now.
Absolutely.
And you could be the most giving person in the world. It's never enough.
The hood ain't producing Mark Smith. They ain't producing head hitters. And most of these bullets are random kills, lucky shots.
Lucky shots.
lucky
for real.
shots. And unfortunately, any bullet in your direction could be a lucky shot. So yeah, you definitely have to be careful. That's why I don't
That's
go to
my
places
last
I
question.
go.
You all right? You all right? Sure, I
This
got
the
no more
last one
time.
because the reason, okay, Ashley, okay, Mikey walking with me, I see. Then you got, they have, okay, Chris Cable said they are the Jewish people. That's basically that was
The source.
run, yeah, this running
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
I
Because
knew
the
it was
question
something.
I was going to ask was, because the young people, it's like, you could have Mark Wahlberg.
Right.
Mark Wahlberg.
We could drop him on, and I'll give an example. We can drop him over there. Just say take him on Wesley Street in Damon with the hood cars.
Yeah,
He could have on all his jewelry. He'd be celebrated.
absolutely.
They ain't gonna bother him.
But yet we could bring me or you.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you one of us.
We instantly become a target.
You one of us. So it's like, how dare you?
We're an easy target.
How dare you do better than
And
me?
the clout that another brother get from taking out another brother is in the hood. That's $1 million gold mine.
Make you look stupid
Like
as
I
hell.
just said, we unfortunately, our culture can be dangerous at times for the
And
wrong reasons.
stupid. You know, a lot of us that scam, that kill people, all that stuff. The stuff that we doing can be put into a trade.
Absolutely,
Like you said, marksman.
absolutely. They don't, and we not going to the military like that. So you have to be careful out here because that one stray bullet could be the one to take you out of here.
I got a lot of friends that's not here that was just in the
Wrong
wrong place
place
at
at
the
the
wrong
wrong
time.
time. The
That's it.
Migos, what y'all doing? What y'all doing? Rolling dice outside of the movie theater. That's what's that. The bowling alley, the skating rink. It was
I'm
somewhere.
like, go over Diddy house and
It
roll
was
dice. You know what I'm
somewhere.
saying? Like,
But
But why do we always have to, even if we roll the dice, it shouldn't be like that because our counterpart, what I mean by counterpart, our white people, our Chinese
yeah,
people, our Mexican people, they can go shoot dice, they entertainers,
absolutely,
and you don't hear about Guns
absolutely,
and Roses them shooting each other about beefing with Metallica.
absolutely.
You don't see Gucci, you don't see Versace beef.
Right.
They had stores on the same block,
On the same block.
but
it's money for everybody, but we not thinking like
Because
that.
we show up with the intent to be dramatic.
Extra.
Just imagine, you can't hardly go anywhere in the city after 2 a.m. without seeing
Something.
K's, assault rifles out in the open. You're not carrying it for your personal safety. What you carrying it for?
Make a scene.
To make a scene, to make to be seen, to make a scene and to be seen.
I got
That's all
guns.
it is.
Half the time when I
That's
have
all it
my
is.
gun with me, don't nobody know that
What
I have
happened to the element of
it.
surprise?
If you do something to me, I'm surprising you with this
I'm
piece.
surprised.
We got one more question.
Yeah,
They
man.
said the thing is nobody is shooting at J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar or Jordan Lucas. The only targets are the dudes who are still living their lifestyle
Absolutely.
or living around their lifestyle while rapping about it.
Absolutely.
And then they not flashy either.
They not flashy.
They just showed a picture of J. Cole walking through the airport looking homeless.
looking like a regular person.
Carrying his own
Regular
luggage.
person.
He ain't have a whole entourage trying to be flashy or nothing like that. And I'm pretty sure he ain't sitting over on Detroit Street rolling dice either.
But y'all also have to remember, gangster rap made it $1 billion industry.
Absolutely. The hip hop community, gangster
But the
rap.
people behind it are sitting somewhere in Hollywood in these $5 million houses plotting.
Playing puppet master.
We the ones out here shucking and jiving and making them money. You know what I'm saying? We not the real millionaires. It's the people that's behind the people.
It's the people behind the people.
So I think until we get to the point that we start from the ground up and make everything based on us,
Absolutely.
instead of going to, oh man, I gotta find me a Jew, I gotta find me a white man that got some money. No, do like Master P. Started from the ground up.
He didn't get wise until he got old.
He didn't, but he started from the ground up. He was selling out the trunk of his car for years.
Yeah.
And look how much money he was able to generate even by doing that.
Absolutely.
So,
people want to be signed to the record label. You sell your soul for a record deal.
Back then it wasn't as easy. Now people can make a TikTok.
Absolutely. And you famous.
Sign off
Oh
of it.
yeah.
But you still got people going to the record label still, though.
Still.
Because you got some people who don't. I just want to rap. I don't want to have to get out here and
Yeah.
market. I don't want to get out here and be an accountant. A lot of people don't want to do for self or surround themselves around that they'd rather go to somebody established that'll take 95% of your earnings and you get 5.
And then they sit there and think to themselves like, dang, that's a risk I'm willing to take.
Oh, okay. Well, that's another one. Okay, Chris Caleb said they said Jay Prince and Suge and P. Diddy was coming together to have their own distribution deal, but the Jewish people didn't want that.
I can believe that. I can believe that.
Wow.
So that's why in 2022, you can't mention, cancel culture is real. You can't say nothing bad about the Jewish community because they are the conglomerate.
Make sure you done for it. Look at Kanye.
It's over. You can't even mention it. So the thing about it is just that very thing. They say, why you impeding on our $1 billion gold mine?
That's some information.
It's dangerous. It's a dangerous game. It's a dangerous game.
But like I said, it's got to be a way for all those, Diddy's and Jermaine Dupri's and all that stuff to come together to start their own, at least an award show. I mean, how hard is it to rent out a stadium with them, as
But you're taking away from people who've been doing it for the longest. You impeding in their money situation.
How you impeding is space for everybody in that situation.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Take the blacks from the NBA. Just take them from the NBA. How long you think the NBA would survive if the blacks would have started their own?
It's over. It's over. You can cancel the rest of the games for the rest of the time because nobody's watching.
Shoot.
Nobody's watching.
True. We got a lot of power.
If you take the blacks with the colleges,
absolutely.
Just let them go be back how it was back in the 50s, 60s.
Segregate us again. Yeah.
You're going to see. You will see the HBCU
thrive.
Even though a lot of them are owned and funded by white people.
Yeah, most land grants.
Yeah, but you will see the Alabamas wouldn't be that good no more.
Oh,
the Michigans wouldn't
Roll Tide would be dead.
You will see a lot of them, but I'm just saying, you will see a lot of them shut down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the biggest fear is if we ever decide
to come together and nobody disagrees with that's
we ever decide.
It's gonna be a couple of people that always got the suggestion of, hey, this is what we should do, but then you got the bigger sum of the people that are afraid of what repercussions will come behind doing it. So
would be shaking in her boots if we ever decide to unite as one large race of people and do what we need to do.
We ain't as brave as Granny and Grandpa that was getting hit with the water hoses.
Because they learned. You gotta look. Remember the Negro League?
Yeah.
The Negro League was outshining Major League
Absolutely.
Baseball.
Of course.
We think they got their halftime.
Yeah.
Just go back and just study where you see Major League Baseball where they got their halftime show. That was for the Negro League. They had to, you know what I'm saying? They really, me personally, I think desegregation really hurt us.
Absolutely.
Than it did help us.
Absolutely.
Now we don't have no more mom and pop stores because we can go to their store.
Right.
We don't have no more hotels because we want to go to their hotel. When really they don't even want us to have their hotels or stores or restaurants, neighborhoods. But we take our neighborhoods and make it look like a third world country.
Absolutely. It was a lose-lose situation for us one way or the other. And the reason why I say that is because, once again, it was all systematic. It was built. The system was built to keep us under a certain level. And then once you start moving up higher, of course they're going, you got to kiss a certain amount of butt to even be considered a major player, especially if your money ain't right.
Yeah, because we black folks do have 1.6 trillion.
The buying power.
I'm looking into Mikey's comment. He's so ignorant. But
did you see what he said? What Chris Calvert said with Luther?
Yeah, Upper Loop.
The 2 Live Crew could not bring venues. Look at Ice Cube having a problem right now with the Big 3.
With the Big
Absolutely.
3, and it was so successful because it's been around for what, about 5 years now,
Absolutely.
maybe 3, close to 5.
Yeah.
He cut into.
I was a little.
So is it true that people are not getting paid properly or on time, or
They might not. They might be slowing up their checks. They do things like that. How
Yeah.
your money is.
Yeah.
And then he the one that got to look bad.
I was a little upset with Cube. I ain't even gonna lie. I wasn't too fond of the whole Donald Trump situation. Going to suck up to that man.
It was okay. It's a business move and it's an ethics move. So he had to do that in order to get probably some funding.
Yeah.
You know, probably things that he
Absolutely.
may need. So sometimes
It's all
kiss
business,
a
and
little.
it is all a little political. But then you try and sway my vote in the meantime, and talk about this black master plan, which I ain't seen it. Donald Trump has not produced me a black master plan that I think is viable.
Didn't he say that's what he was doing before he left?
No, but it wasn't just him. It was Dr. Claude Anderson who got the book Power nominated.
I saw that.
It's the biggest thing.
The
what it was, I get what you're saying because I didn't get it, but my thing is, he did it and you see what happened because the Democrats ain't coming nothing.
Nah.
To be honest, it's like we get caught. I mean, I feel like both parties play. The Republicans just tell you how it is. If we get money, we'll deal with you.
Absolutely.
The Democrats, you know what I'm saying, because they still benefit off the tax cuts that the Republic, tax cut. So it's like they playing the game, but they play us.
Me personally,
because the Democrats need us to push them over there to get in, and it's like you would think we would have more.
Me personally, I can't afford to vote Republican because I don't meet the necessary financial requirements for these tax breaks. But on the other side of that, coin, now that we got some of these Democrats in these seats, it's time to leverage our vote. I don't see how we can leverage our vote before they're even in the seat because it doesn't make any sense. But now that they in the seat, hold the fire to Joe. Hold it to him. Because if you want to do it again, this time you gotta come back with something better.
But y'all
point blank and period.
But this what y'all missing. You missing them Dixiecrats. Them your Southern Democrats. Still they holding on to the old South. Yeah. See, you see how Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin was holding the Democrats. They wouldn't, because they really Dino's in that basically Democrats name only. Them really Republicans that couldn't win.
That's why the elections, the elections down there went the way that they just went. But they kicking folks out them seats down there.
I want to see what's gonna happen now that in Michigan, since you got the Democrat control of governorship. The House, both of them. Let's see what they're gonna do.
Let's see what they do, because our vote holds power. If it didn't, why would they make it so difficult for us to vote? They put all these new voting laws into place. Of course, it's all smoke and mirrors because they want to make it seem like the Democrats stole the election. But it's a play. It's all a game. Hey, my vote is hostage. Hence now and forevermore. Until I see change.
That's why you can't wait till they get in office. That's the old saying. They don't like to pay for yesterday high because you gave it to them. If I hold you hostage until you get in there, then we'll see. Because they come begging, but it need to be something written down.
It got to be.
It got to be.
It has to be viable.
That's what I don't like is all the empty promises that we do
just
receive
couldn't afford another 4 years of old DT.
It was beginning to get to a point that we was having a racial divide that was about to start.
The country is torn straight down the middle.
Yeah. It's there now, but I think that if he would have stayed around, it would have got a lot worse because that bull crap they pulled in January. That was the beginning of it.
That was the beginning of the end.
Man.
So he told his boys to stand by.
If you notice, they cousins, the Democrats don't really want to fry them.
Because they could have been and did. They could have been and got them.
They don't want to freeze their cousins because they looking at them. It goes back to like what us. When they see their own, they like, hold up. Okay, they made a mistake.
Yeah.
But if they see us, it's a different.
They gonna hold us.
When they see us through their lens, they still, regardless, they might be 40, 50 years from Jim Crow. but their mind stays in them. They still see that's a black man. He ain't nothing. He ain't,
Oh yeah, they still see Jim Crow.
Yeah.
It still bleed
Definitely.
Jim Crow in their hearts.
If they could reverse it
Now
and
what?
reinstate it,
Today, shackles.
they start knocking on everybody's
No,
front
just
door.
listen
Come
to
in.
sports radio, man. I like to listen to the sports radio on the what's the name of the satellite to be in the cars.
XM.
XM.
Yeah, XM
Man,
radio.
when you hear them white
Yeah.
people call in,
Yeah. Oh yeah, they be pissed.
the first thing, take their money.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They done got too big for their britches.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm talking about the sports car. You get to see the races coming in. I see some of them that, hey, cut the call.
Yeah.
Like,
LeBron James do one wrong thing, and he is just
He
play
is the
basketball,
worst
boy.
person in
Just
history.
play ball, boy. Just dribble the
just
ball.
listen to XM radio on the sports. You get to see.
I wonder will it show up on iHeart.
When they be,
Absolutely.
they probably gonna screen the calls by then. When you be listening to it,
because it's
live,
raw.
Yeah.
When it's live.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to hear them callers call in. You get to, like you say,
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
They need to take that boy money.
Yeah.
He got too big
He
for his
got-
britches.
Yeah, that's
I ain't never not once seen them call in when it be a white player. They don't never say take their money. He made a mistake.
look at Brett Favre.
Got all that good money.
Ain't said nothing. Ain't
Got
said
all that
nothing. They
good
hung
money.
Kyrie up high on the cross. They hung Kyrie on the cross. But Brett, good old boy Brett Favre, can't do no wrong. You said it. You said it.
My bad, I'm done.
Man,
You all right?
this definitely
Look,
good content.
I done got the chills out now. We
It's
warm
true.
up in here.
It's how you get it.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Kasey, for popping in today. I definitely appreciate you. Go ahead and give the people your social media handles and your ways of getting in contact with you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's your boy,
Mhm.
Kasey Inspiration, here with your inspirational message for the day. And on today, I just want to inspire you, Ashley, here at Club Rich, a wonderful platform, just amazing start. Just remember, if you aim for the moon and even if you miss, you'll still land amongst the stars. So I'm excited for what you got going on. Thank you for having me. You can reach me on social media via Kasey Calvert, on Instagram at Kasey_NoJojo88. And just reach out. I'm rolling back out my inspirational speaking series, so our bookings are open for 2023. And stay tuned. I'll get my face and my name out there, and I'm excited. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for coming. Thank you guys for tuning in for the first episode of Club Rich. I will be announcing my special guest for next week, Wednesday. So stay tuned. Wednesday, I got you guys. So thank you.